Hello everyone, welcome back. Today is July 20th, 2026, and we're heading to the Hong Kong stock market. 9 names spanning utilities, manufacturing, gaming, finance, and solar glass, all showing a shared technical fingerprint. A very flat, quiet daily move paired with a low, cooling RSI. For each one, we'll walk through the price action, the momentum picture, and the key technical readings. RSI, MACD, Stochastic, HKEX, Bollinger Band positioning, and more. The same due diligence any active trader or portfolio-minded investor would run before adding a name to their watch list. Quick disclaimer before we start, everything in this video is my own personal opinion and analysis, not financial advice, and not a recommendation to buy or sell anything. Please do your own research before making any investment decision. First up is 2380, China Power International, a major Chinese power generation company operating a diversified fleet of coal, hydro, and wind assets, part of the broader State Power Investment Corporation Group, and a name tied directly to China's electricity demand and its ongoing energy transition story. Price is 3 Hong Kong dollars, up 0.37% today, on light volume running at 0.7 times its usual pace, a genuinely quiet session. Is 30, sitting right at the edge of oversold territory, and the weekly RSI reads 33, confirming this cooling off has held over a longer window too, not just a single day. MACD has just crossed into a bullish signal, a fresh green cross worth noting, even as the broader momentum reading stays neutral. Stochastic is 27, still on the low side. HKEX comes in at a genuinely strong 53, one of the most technically decisive trend readings we'll see today, a sign this isn't just drifting sideways by accident. Bollinger position is 23% of the band, with price still 4.0% away from the lower band. A utility name showing real signs of stabilizing after a period of pressure, with money market-style caution behind its steady dividend-driven investor base. Second is 1081, Dajin Heavy Industry, a Chinese heavy machinery and forged components manufacturer, the kind of industrial supplier whose fortunes track closely with construction, energy, and infrastructure capital spending. Price is 39 Hong Kong dollars, up 0.31% today, on quiet volume at 0.6 times normal. Here's the standout number. RSI 14 is just 18, deep, genuinely oversold territory, one of the most stretched readings on today's entire list. While the weekly RSI has fallen all the way to 0, an extreme reading worth flagging for anyone watching for capitulation-style price action. Stochastic is 8, also firmly in oversold territory. Bollinger position is just 7% of the band, meaning price is sitting right at the lower edge, only 7.1% away from the lower band itself. Activity investors and portfolio managers often watch closely as a classic stretched to the downside technical picture. A heavy industry name showing the kind of deep technical exhaustion that either resolves into a bounce or continues lower. Exactly the two-sided read that makes oversold readings tricky on their own. Third is 2587, HealthyWay, a Hong Kong-listed commercial services company operating in the health and wellness space. Price is 2 Hong Kong dollars, up 0.45% today on light volume at 0.6 times normal. RSI 14 is 30, weekly RSI 28, both readings pointing to a stock that has cooled off meaningfully over both the short and longer window. MACD has turned positive with a fresh bullish cross. Stochastic is 10, deep oversold, and Bollinger position sits at just 16% of the band, with price 4.8% away from the lower band. A smaller commercial services name showing the same flat price, cooling momentum, early green cross pattern we're seeing echo across several names on today's list. Fourth is 1316 Nexteer Automotive Group, a well-known global supplier of steering and driveline systems to major automakers worldwide, with roots tracing back through the General Motors and Delphi Engineering lineage, now headquartered and listed in the Chinese and Hong Kong markets. Price is 4 Hong Kong dollars, dead flat today at 0.0% change, on light volume at 0.7 times normal, about as quiet a session as a stock can have. Is 34, weekly RSI 32, both sitting just under the 35 mark. MACD has crossed bullish, HKEX reads a solid 34, and the Arun indicator is pointing upward, together suggesting an emerging trend rather than pure noise. Bollinger position is 26% of the band, 5.4% away from the lower band, and this name is also trading near its 52-week low, a globally recognizable automotive supplier showing a textbook ultra-flat, low RSI fresh cross setup. Fifth is 1428 Bright Securities, a Hong Kong retail brokerage and financial services firm serving local investors trading Hong Kong and international markets. Price is 7 Hong Kong dollars, down a slight 0.14% today on light volume at 0.7 times normal. RSI 14 is 34, weekly RSI a touch higher at 37. MACD has turned bullish, Stochastic is 24, ADX is 32, and Arun is pointing upward. A genuinely well-defined early trend for a brokerage name. Bollinger position is 31% of the band, 4.4% away from the lower band, and like the previous name, this one is trading close to its 52-week low. A financial services name whose own chart mirrors the same kind of quiet, technically interesting setup its clients might be watching for on other stocks. Sixth is 66683 Star Plus Legend Holdings, a Hong Kong-listed retail company. Price is 4 Hong Kong dollars, up 0.24% today on light volume at 6 times normal. RSI 14 is 31, weekly RSI 35, right at the boundary of our comfort zone. ID has crossed bullish. Stochastic is 12, deep in oversold range, and this stock is also sitting near its 52-week low. Bollinger position is 27% of the band, 6.3% away from the lower band. A retail name showing the same cooling momentum, fresh cross characteristics as several of its peers on today's list, in a sector that tends to be closely tied to Hong Kong and mainland Chinese consumer spending. Seventh is 880 SJM Holdings, one of Macau's original gaming concessionaires, the casino and resort operator founded by the legendary Stanley Ho, and a name that functions almost as a direct barometer for Macau gaming revenue and Chinese tourism flows. Price is 1 Hong Kong dollar, up a solid 0.68% today on light volume at 0.6 times normal. RSI 14 is 35, right at the edge of our comfort band, while the weekly RSI is notably lower at 21, a meaningful gap between the short-term and longer-term momentum picture. Here's what makes this one stand out. Both the MACD line and the RSI have turned bullish together, a double confirmation rather than just one signal on its own, worth flagging as the most complete momentum picture on today's entire list. ADX reads a strong 50, Stochastic is 48, and Bollinger position is 37% of the band, 5.6% away from the lower band, a globally recognizable gaming name showing the most convincing combined signal setup we've covered today. Eighth is 968 Xinyi Solar Holdings, one of the world's largest manufacturers of solar glass, specialized low-iron glass used to cover photovoltaic panels, giving this stock a direct link to the global solar and renewable energy build-out. Price is 2 Hong Kong dollars, dead flat today at 0.00% change, though volume here is actually a touch above average at 1.2 times normal. The only name on today's list trading above its usual pace despite zero price movement, worth noting as a subtle divergence. RSI 14 is 30, weekly RSI 29, both cooled off. MACD has crossed bullish, Stochastic is 26, and ADX reads a strong 46. Bollinger position is 29% of the band, 8.5% away from the lower band, one of the wider gaps to the lower band on today's list, for a global solar glass leader whose chart is quietly building a fresh trend. Ninth and last for today is 2570. Shanghai REFIRE Group, a hydrogen fuel cell technology company, part of the newer wave of clean energy names on the Hong Kong exchange focused specifically on hydrogen as an industrial and transport fuel source. Price is 21 Hong Kong dollars, down 0.57% today, on notably light volume at just 0.3 times normal, the quietest session of any name on today's list. RSI 14 is 31, weekly RSI 27, both comfortably cooled off. MACD has turned bullish, Stochastic is a deeply oversold 4, the lowest stochastic reading on today's entire list, and Bollinger position is 19% of the band, 4.0% away from the lower band. ADX is 26, and this stock is also trading near its 52-week low. A fitting name to close on, a specialized hydrogen technology story showing the same deep cool-down, fresh cross pattern we've traced across today's whole list, on the thinnest volume of the day. Stepping back across all 9 names, a few patterns stand out. Sector-wise, producer manufacturing is the biggest cluster today. Dajin Heavy Industry, Nexteer Automotive, and Xinyi Solar, alongside 2 utilities names in China Power International and Shanghai REFIRE, and single representatives from commercial services, finance, retail, and gaming. Every single name on today's list shows the same underlying fingerprint: a very flat or genuinely quiet daily price move paired with a cooling RSI reading and a fresh bullish MACD cross. A technical pattern that showed up across a genuinely diverse set of industries today, from a Macau casino operator to a global solar glass manufacturer. Dajin Heavy Industries' RSI of 18 and Shanghai REFIRE's Stochastic of 4 are the two most stretched oversold readings on today's list, while SJM Holdings stands out as the only name where both MACD and RSI turned bullish together, a combined signal rather than a single one. And on trend strength, China Power International's HKEX of 53 is the most technically decisive reading we covered today. Important section, please listen carefully. Every stock covered today was selected purely for its price action and technical characteristics on the day of recording. Technical readings like RSI, MACD, Stochastic, HKEX, and Bollinger Band positioning describe what a stock's chart has already done. They do not guarantee what it will do next. Several names today are trading near 52-week lows with very light volume, which can mean either a genuine turning point or a continuation of existing weakness. The chart alone cannot tell you which. Hong Kong-listed equities can also carry additional considerations for international viewers, including currency risk and market-specific regulation. This program is not investment advice. Everything shared here is for educational and informational purposes only. Always do your own research and consult a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decision. That wraps up today's walkthrough of 9 Hong Kong stocks, from a Macau gaming pioneer in SJM Holdings to a global solar glass leader in Xinyi Solar, all sharing the same quiet, cooling momentum technical signature today.